The information on this podcast is my opinion and some internet research.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Welcome to Star Wars Chatter, hosted by Andrew Van Zark. Now you're listening with power. Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Chatter. I'm Andrew Van Zark, and this is your safe space to discuss Star Wars and music. And today we're going to talk about 5 things Star Wars The Bad Batch has revealed about the rise of the Empire. So, some of my information is from the internet, from StarWars.com, and some of it is from my own little opinion, you know? So, for those of you listening on AMP, welcome to the show. Hope you're all doing a great time and a great day. I want you all to be all doing what it is that you have to do. Enjoy yourself. And if you haven't catch the show live on AMP, you can catch it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts to get yourself running on the show. So let's get started. So over the past 2 decades, the downfall of the Republic has been well documented in various of the movies of Star Wars, television shows, comics, books, and many other forms like video games. In Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, for instance, we first saw the covered hologram of Darth Sidious ordering Order 66, Palpatine declaring himself Emperor in front of the Senate, and the construction of the first Death Star. In Star Wars The Clone Wars, we learned more about inhibitor chips, the plans for the clone army, and more of the Sith Lord mechanizations. And now, you might be wondering, in Star Wars The Bad Batch, has there been any clear explanation of the rise of the Empire? So there is previously an unglimpsed look at what comes immediately after. So the first day of the Galactic Empire, it is told with a fascinating moment, of world building and deeper look into the larger galaxy. As its second season unfolds on Disney+, StarWars.com now takes a look at the Bad Batch and the insights that it has brought so far into tumultuous time. So, the thing is that we have Hunter, we have Wrecker, we have Tech, we have Omega, we have Crosshair, so many other Clone Force 99 characters that we love a lot. But there's one thing that really begs the question. Why would Crosshair, by any means, still go for the Empire when the Empire clearly said, screw you, on the last episode of Season 1? Like, screw you, I don't care about you, you're gonna die? Whatever, you're just another clone with superpowers, different from the others, for sure. But no, that's not how it should be, and that's not how it goes, So, at number 1, we can say that we have this question. So, what happened right after Order 66? So, many points of views during Order 66 have been shown, including the plight of Jedi apprentice Caleb Dune and his master, Deepa Bilaba, in the opening moments of the Bad Batch. It was the ultimate tragedy the Jedi Order had. But what happened after the infamous order was executed? So many questions beg us and make us think. But one thing we know from Revenge of the Sith is that Obi-Wan exiled to Tatooine, sent Luke to the farm with Owen and his aunt, and then from there, Luke grew up and did what he had to do, But with the Obi-Wan series, we have the chance to know that things have been flowing. And Obi-Wan actually did what he had to do and take care of Luke Skywalker, even from afar, hidden on the cave. Ben, we all know called Ben, Ben did not want it to be known out there in the outer world, because by that time, they were searching for any remaining Jedis, because for sure some Jedis and Force-sensitive people were still around, So the immediate post-Order 66 aftermath, shown in the premiere episode of The Bad Batch, appropriately entitled Aftermath, covers the clones' point of view, with Hunter, Echo, Tech, Wrecker, and Crosshair returning to their home planet of Kamino. So, upon landing, and after on a customarily being asked to be a clearance code, they were quickly informed by a red-stripped shock trooper commander that General Grievous had been killed on Tapo, and that the war was officially over. Attending a mandatory meeting in the standing area, they watched as sneering holograms of nearly ascendant Emperor Palpatine delivered his speech to the whole galaxy, reflecting his ominous words in the Revenge of the Sith. You know, the hundreds of applauses echoes through the staging area of Camino, as well as in the Senate chambers of Coruscant. So the galaxy's empire, or rather said the galactic empire, was here to stay in order to ensure a safe and secure society. Right, a safe and secure society. Right. We all know that the Empire did wrong. We all know that the Empire was killing planets. You know, the first time they killed, I think it was Andor, you know? Yeah, and you can clearly see that the Empire was up to no good at this point, you know. So quickly, the warmth and individuals of the clone troopers disappeared, with the color and defining markers stripped from the armor. And now in all-white uniforms, the clone marched down to stark halls of Tipoca City in silence. It was the first, but definitely not the last, instance of informity expected from his new empire. And you know what's really sad about Order 66? When we see the Obi-Wan series, we can clearly see before Anakin became Lord Vader, how he killed all those younglings. Like, come on! Who in their right fucking mind would fucking kill some fucking little kids? Some freaking 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 5-year-olds. What the hell? That's not even cool. And the most sad part is that we were okay not seeing the infamous scene of the younglings. Well, no! Freaking show of Obi-Wan Kenobi had to show us how they killed them. I don't want to see some little kids getting slaughtered by a lightsaber. Oh, jeez. Sorry, folks, but this really pisses me off. Anakin, you're an asshole. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. I just had to say it. Anyways, so at number 2, the rebellion is rising. So Clone Force 99 first mission after the events of Order 66 found them sent to the planet Orderon, you know? And from there, their new Imperial commanders in order to track down a group of insurgents led by Saw Gerrera. This insurgent group was the batch's first encounter in the post-Empire Rebellion. So the Clone Wars might have ended, but the Civil War was about to begin. And it wasn't pretty, to say the least, you know? So as seen throughout the series, there were many pockets of insurrection and disapproval that quickly grouped together in early days of the Empire. Gerrera and his partitions were good examples of this, later seen more fully formed in Andor. So, on Rogue One, a Star Wars story, we also see that. But the Bad Batch also encountered many disasters, or dissenters, during their mission of Sid. The Martis sister in Season 1 episode Decommissioned were also the hunt for separatist tactical droidheads, which had now become a vital piece of post-Clone War intel. It could tell enemies of the Empire how to defeat the clones. And with more and more clones defecting like Commander Cody in the Season 2, the solidarity of clones, you know, that's another thing that really begs the question, you know. Crosshair still wants to be part of the Empire. Crosshair still wants to do things the hard way. Destroy, kill, annihilate. But Cody was like, you know what? I'm not gonna work for the Empire anymore. Because the difference between a battle droid and a clone is that clones have will. Clones have a way to answer things and a way to think through. Should we do this or should we do that? You know, that's how clones work. Droids do what they're programmed to do. But clones, no. They have willpower. They have the will to say yes or no. And for those of you listening to the show right now, I want you to let me know. If you were a clone and you were asked to either kill or talk about the situation, what would you do? What would you do? Because when we see in Season 2, when they go to the hideout where Dooku used to live, Crosshair clearly kills her, but Cody wanted to talk. So I ask you, the listener, would you have talked and not do any war? Or would you have declared war? And there was no reason why to declare war. Just to make it clear, there was no reason whatsoever to declare war on those separatists, you know? Not at all. So, In the episode Solidarity of the Clone, former clone Commander Rex, a leader of these early rebels, puts the thinking rather than eloquently at the end of the Battle Scars. So he spent his life defending the Republic, so he was not going to stop now. So at number 3, we have Citizens of the Empire. After the rise of the Empire, the lives of every citizens were drastically and quickly changed as well, as seen in the season 1st episode Cut and Run. A looming hologram of voice Admiral Rampart announced to the citizens of now peaceful Salukami that they must begin exchanging their invalid currency for new Imperial credits. The citizens were also urged to register for a chain code. In order to travel freely across the galaxy, that's what they had to do. So as revealed later in episodes, this chain code initiative was vital to laying the foundation of the new empire, and was the utmost importance of the new regime. In The Mandalorian, to do a comparison here, it was seen just how widespread the implementation of this chain code system was. Both when Din Djarin first received his mission to find the child, aka Grogu, Baby Yoda, and later when Boba Fett had to prove his father's Mandalorian heritage. So across the galaxy, planets began to feel the ill effects of the new regimen. Whether a conferency planet like Raxus Secundus, the former Cis capital, Count Dooku's homeworld of Sereno, ransacked by the Empire in Season 2 premiere episode Spoils of War, or separatist holdout of Desix. Senator and local leaders were pressured by the Empire to ensure peace among their citizens. So the convenient Senator Orn Frita even recommended that all Twi'leks step down from their military post and turn over their weapons, thus making them defenseless against Imperial rule. On Ryloth, a thonium refinery was being built in order to supposedly bring jobs to the Twi'lek people. In reality, it was specifically built to fuel the Empire's defense efforts, and Ryloth became one of the first in eventually long list of planets that would have their natural resources exploited and stripped away by the Empire. So at number 4, the future of the clone army. Once the Empire was formally established, and that's a sad thing to say, the future of the clone army was almost immediately called into question, and they were like, well, I think we don't have any more use for you guys. Rampart and Admiral Tarkin quickly began to debate their need for a clone army, preparing conscription of loyal civilian soldiers. While the skill and accuracy of the clones were greater, the endless supply of these new TK troopers was tough to complete against, especially at half of the cost. Rampart insisted that most optimal strategy would be getting these recruits trained by skilled clones. So, in Season 1, episode War Mantle revealed the full extent of this strategy, which took place on the planet Taro, when rescuing and defending clones named Gregor. The batch discovered an Imperial military base with 50 clone commandos training 1,000 new TK troopers, which would eventually become some of the first Imperial stormtroopers. This new enlist swore their loyalty solely to the Empire. As Season 2 has demonstrated, the Defense Recruit Bill, formally proposed by Rampart, was the Empire's way of growing the ranks of this conscripted military and discarding the remaining clones with no further benefits. After fiery debate in the Senate chambers, Emperor Palpatine emerged to solidify the proposal, fully implementing the Stormtroopers initiative in the episode Truth and Consequences. So at number 5, here is when, sadly, Kamino is lost. You know, the evacuation and destruction of Kamino at the end of the Bad Batch first season mark a tragic closing of a major chapter in the Clone Wars. The Kaminoans paid ultimate price for their trust in their contract with the Republic, as evidenced by death of Taun We and the arrest of Lama Su, the Kaminoan Prime Minister. And as seen in the last moments of the season, let Genetics Narasi was taken to a mysterious imperial base in the planet Wayland to continue her work. Tipoca City may have been destroyed, but that did not mean the Empire was stopping any of their cloning experiments. These tests continue to be a great priority of Palpatine, as evidenced by murky green tanks on Bora Vio in Season 1, Episode Bunny Lost. And in Larasi's ultimate fate on Wayland, while initially presented to the public as a cataclysm storm, Vice Admiral Rampart command logs were eventually recovered by Clone Force 99, proving to the public that the destruction of Kamino was done purposely, leading to Rampart's arrest. Even so, Palpatine found a way to use this to his advantage, pushing through the defense recruitment bill. And as Season 2 of The Bad Batch continues, we will no doubt receive more glimpses into the fascinating time in the galaxy's history, as well as seeing the brave groups who heroically opposed the changes, because with the rise of the Empire, also came the rise of the Rebel Alliance. And that is 5 things that give us the rise of the Empire within the Bad Batch. Hope you've all learned something and have something to say to your friends, to your families, to your acquaintances, or maybe to your girlfriend out there somewhere, to tell them that this is what the rise of the Empire feels like and looks like within the eyes of the Bad Batch. And it's an interesting thing to say the least, So I want you all to just enjoy yourself, keep watching the Bad Batch and enjoying some Star Wars. May the Force be with you, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Adios, amigos. Bye. Roll that outro.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
This was Star Wars Chatter, your safe space with Star Wars, music, video games, and other geeky topics. Listen on AMP, the Amazon Radio app, and get yourself started by listening to my music on every major music platform under Andrew Van Zark. But if you want to have more information, go to my website, www.andrewvanzart.com, where you can find all my social medias, music, and everything else all in one page. Trust in the Force, no light speeding, and buckle up. Now you're listening with power. Power to the music, and may the Force be with you.
TV!